promotion of fuckery.
Wagwan, everybody. Welcome to our next episode of Talk the Things podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the Kingston Fest, or Kingston Festival, I think is the full name. This whole situation was a disaster. I remember when this happened. My mom went to this, but I was booked for something, an event, so I didn't wind up doing this one. I never wind up going or even cooking for it. But I remember hearing about this on TikTok. I remember my mom coming home and saying how mad she was. I remember everybody on, bro, this was everywhere. It reached news. It was on Jamaica news. Popcorn posted about it. And we're going to go into all that today. I want to go over a little backstory of the whole event. It was on August 8th, 2022, I believe. I believe it was August 8th. And a lot of people were laughing at first. The first sign that something was off was that you had to buy your tickets. I don't know where everybody got their tickets them from, but I know that some people had to go to Soupalicious. You know Soupalicious, that soup store that serves soup all day. But it was a festival that had 13 opening like local Toronto rapper acts, and then I think like the four main one. Well, I don't remember. I remember for sure there was Shensi. I remember there was Popcorn and Skillman. There was a next person. I don't remember the name right now. But as the event started now, people was realizing that there was no organization, that the VIP section, first thing that really went crazy was that the people lit down the fence and ran into the like to the front of the stage, where I guess was for VIP. But they don't even know that when it lit down the fence, that it caused a chain reaction for everything else that was going to happen throughout the night. And we're going to talk about that a little more. But when it lit down the fence and they ran up there to the front now, people realized that the concert never started about till 7 hours after they were promised a start time. 7 to 8 hours. And that is crazy because people said they were hot. They need to go pee. It was so ram. Nobody couldn't move. Nobody couldn't do nothing. People were making a whole bunch of TikTok memes about that. But also the people that got like backstage access in those places, because my mom had like backstage or side stage tickets. She was on the stage, but mommy said everybody was so squeezed that it would even make sense to have like there was nothing luxury about that. No, it wasn't very important at all if you were squeezed up around the back. So a lot of people were upset about that. But then people in the VIP were saying, what happened to my ticket money now? Because I paid how much more dollars for the people that lit down the fence and ran in. Now I'm not getting that experience. So a lot of people were calling for refund from that. And that was before it got to the worst how it got. But now, eventually, people started to perform. And when people are performing, they're realizing that they can't hear nothing. Popcorn's performing, and when he was even coming up on the stage, because people rushed the fence, and there was no like security, there was no border, there was like 250 security, but it was mere full of security, man. So when Popcorn's coming up on stage, people are like not rushing the man, but like up on the stage, walking up with him. They're not supposed to be in that area. Nobody should even be over there.
Kingston Music Festival, while Popcorn tries to get on stage.
So they start performing now, and when Skillibeng was performing, people could not hear a single drop. I found a video, and this video is actually funny as hell because remember in my last video when I was telling you about those girls from Toronto, those white girls who go down to Jamaica and have the Jamaican man, and they go to Jamaica like 6, 7, 8, 9 times a year. Well, in this video with Skillibeng performing, she got into a fight with one of the black Jamaican girls, and they're just going back and forth, and it's only literally them you can hear. So that video is going to show two things. It's going to show how you can't hear Skillibeng performing and they're right in front of the man, and how the people are fighting each other. Now, one thing, concerts are very loud. So if you're right in the front row and can't hear, something's wrong. You guys listen to this.
I'm not drunk. Who are you talking to?
Me, you and me a chat, or you and me a chat?
They've been drinking, right? You guys are not going to be a big party. Both of you are
Enjoy yourself. We are all enjoying ourselves. We all are enjoying ourselves. You're not going to scare me, you know.
Stop talking to me. I'm slapping at your face. Stop talking to me. Listen.
Just leave it. Let's enjoy the
Stop drinking. Oh my goodness. You cannot bring white people anywhere. I have no
So now you guys just heard that, and it's funny, right? Anyway, after now, when Shensia's performing, literally the only people who can hear Shensia is like the people that are in her voice proximity, because when she put the microphone to her mouth in one part, you can't even hear her voice. You when she lift up her head and was look, bro. You guys listen to this, and I'll come back.
Poor girl, me no care. You don't touch me rear. Me and me one big man pass big this stage. Me never serious me when me under. How you go on your waist? You can't tell me. What we do? What we go? What we go? Me and the stars, so me and no fan of you do what me want. Me nah itch up under no man arm like.
So now everybody's really pissed the hell off because this is a concert and you cannot hear anything. But the reason why it was like this was because the sound system got mashed up when they lit down the fence. Supposedly, that's what the people are saying. That's what the man who organized the thing is saying. But I can believe that because there's always wires running around the girl. Like when they set up the venue, they set it up in a way where they make everything had to work before. They do sound check, they do all those things, they do those stuff before from our morning time, because it's not just they don't just set it's not like they set it up in a second and everybody come in. That has to set up from all the day 2 days before. So they made sure they had certain stuff in play. But when you guys tear down the fence, all those quadrillion of people, it mash up the sound system. And I guess the reason why it took so long to start was because they were trying to fix the sound. And I'm going to play you guys the man. He's going to say all these things in the interview at the end of the podcast. I just want to go over these notes and these things I have put on first before I play you guys no explanation or whatever the hell the man's saying, because he's making bare excuse at the same time. The event simply wasn't run good. It wasn't run good. So, like I said, everybody had to push up and squeeze. It was very squeezed because there was no separation. People started to drop down. Now, this reminded me of that concert Travis Scott. Remember the episode I did a few years ago, and the people them dropped down and got dead and trampled. This is what this was starting to sound like. I said people dropped down. People dropped down due to heat because they were suffocating. People were sitting on top of people's neck back. That's all squeeze. And then you have to remember it's August. That's the most hot month of the year. If not, yeah, August and July. Those are those 2 months you don't play with when it comes to heat. They'll just sit at 40 degrees someday. So I could imagine how people, and we don't have no ocean breeze or no breeze. It's just hot and everybody's squeezed. So people start to drop down. They had to call ambulance. Police was on mountain. What do you call them? Mount police, the police that walk around on horse, because it was actually getting crazy. They said they had like 50 police on the outside and I think 200 police on the inside. And the next thing that people were complaining about was how everybody's dropping down. When you go to these events and stuff, you're supposed to give free water. Nobody was giving out no water. It was causing people to drop down. But the man said that's a lie because it was 5,000 cases of water. So, and he said that there's pictures of the 5,000 keys. Well, even we're not denying that, but it wasn't getting to the people. There was no organization in that place. That's why people are starting to drop down. If you go to Carabana and certain festival, they give you free water. They're supposed to now. I realized that couple concert, couple event and thing, they give you guys free water. At Carabana, they're giving away free water because even at Carabana, people always drop down. And at Carabana, it's a Toronto culture with the fence, I'm going to get into that. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, concert done now, and people wanted their money back. Everybody was mad. They came home, they're in their makeup. People that were even in the event still was recording themselves saying, no, I want to go. I can't even leave though. I'm stuck over here. So I could imagine how the drive was to come out of that place. And They said because of the backlash they were getting that they were gonna make a fake. Well, no, see, it wasn't fake. Yeah, at that time it was real, but people called bullshit, and I still don't believe it happened till this day. But they said that they were gonna give everybody 50% off on the next concert they were gonna keep like 2 months after, like in November, and that was kind of weird. I'm gonna play you guys a video for a girl explaining it, and I'll be right back.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm the only one who's noticed this, anyone in Toronto, but everyone remembers the whole Kingston Fest fiasco that went down. I was someone that was there, and they did a whole interview. They said they're going to make us have a reconciliation concert on November 11th, which is next Friday, and they haven't told us any updates. They said this was going to be a free concert for people who paid VIP or half price for people who were in general admission, and there's been no updates. The last post they made was in August. Like, did they think we forgot? Did anyone else remember this, or is this just me?
So you guys just seen what she had to say, and like I said, it was going all around. Everybody was saying, "Nah, there's no way we pay our money for this. We have to get recompensation." And even Popcorn, man, you seen the video I put earlier in the podcast where he's on the stage saying, "Oh, you guys, blah 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 blah."
Unroll it. I hear me I say now. You see, to the promotion team for the concert, you know. Let me talk to you clear. A lot of my fans vexed and angry because the promotion are fuckery. So you wanna know? You see when you book superstar band show, make sure you fix every bum buckler thing, right? You hear that? Listen to me again. You see all of them hard-working, independent people, yeah? We pay them money for another bum buckler show, yeah? You disappoint them and you disappoint me. If I never them, I got me yard. I want to know that. Fix up on a bum buckler self. Run it.
So the man was gonna be explaining all these things later on in the podcast, but Popcorn made a post saying run back the people them their money and their things, because it was really it was out of control, man. But what the man is saying in the interview that I'm gonna play very shortly, it makes sense to me coming from a business aspect, but at the same time, he's not taking responsibility, and it was not planned good at all. It just wasn't planned good. I want to play you guys the interview now. You guys are gonna listen to what the man's gonna say. It's gonna be a couple minutes long, but I took out the most major important parts to me that where he's explaining everything that went down and what he thinks about what happened and people not getting their refund, blah blah blah. I'm gonna play you guys that and I'm gonna be right back.
Mall. So then what went wrong at Kingston Music Festival? Because we've heard from people, attendees who paid their hard-earned money to attend this festival. Apparently the start time was extremely late. People came at the start time that you guys said, 1 o'clock when gates opened, but the first performer didn't go on stage until about 7-8 hours later. So what happened with the start time?
So just to explain the start time, Brandon, and it's interesting that you said that. So when our gates open at 1 o'clock, when our gates open at 1:30, our gates had to open at 1:30 to be exact, because what happened was that we did a secondary screening of the venue to ensure our security plans were in fully place. We have to distinguish between the showtime and the prime time audience. Showtime began at 3 o'clock. What our showtime is that our festival was the only festival that had 13 Canadian acts, opening acts. These opening acts are across Canada, from Montreal, which we showcase, so we give them a stage and an international stage to perform on.
But you guys didn't even have a showtime list. Like, the audience didn't even know what time your artists were supposed to hit the stage.
So normally what we do is that we had a showtime list that said 3 o'clock, because we don't distinguish between our international acts and our opening acts.
But the headliners, though, the headliners, people didn't even know what time the headliners were going to hit the stage.
Because our showtime started at 3 and it flowed in. So we don't distinguish between, because they're all acts. I want to address the water situation. So once the bars were closed and we reopened the bars, people started going to one bar specifically. What then happened was that we had an outer perimeter breach, which then the Toronto police, who was amazing. One of the things that I want to say is that the Toronto police, several times our production crew said, this cannot go on. The Toronto police said, what can we do to ensure that these people still have a safe show? And they worked with us to adjust our security plan so that show was delivered, because the production teams And some of our rapid response team wanted the show to end.
A lot of people who attended don't feel like they got value for their money. And as you know, you've probably heard there have been calls for refunds.
That is correct.
Will you be refunding people's money?
At this point in time, because our festival guidelines were that we delivered the show and all artists performed, there will be no refunds at this time. But
even though people couldn't hear two of the main acts?
That's due to the fact of the damaged production caused by the crowds breaching the fences. So we can't, it's the productions team to ensure that the shows were delivered, and we tried to deliver, but fences being breached outside of the producer's control, that isn't our fault, because we have set up these mechanisms to ensure that these things get delivered.
Three Bills Food, the #1 box food in the GTA, located in the east with prices you won't believe. Small soup, $3, jerk chicken, $6, and a small oxtail, $8.50 on certain days only. We cater weddings, funerals, birthday parties, baby showers, and much, much more. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at 3 Bills Food or call 416-554-5028.
You guys have offered ticket goers a 50% discount for next year's festival.
That is correct.
Do you think that's enough?
But we have more to come. There's more to come for festival goers, because again, we produce concerts. A lot of the concerts that happen in this city are produced by us.
Right.
People don't know, because we don't definitely go up front to say what we're producing. So you'll be seeing more pop-ups happening to compensate for our Kingston Festival viewers. But again, we aren't blaming our patrons. Our patrons were just excited that this festival was happening.
So you guys just heard what that man had to say. And like I said, it's big excuses, right? I mean, he's not really taking accountability for nothing. But one thing that he did say was that he's not giving nobody a refund because you guys are the one who mash up the concert by carrying on the way you did. And you can see he's trying to say, well, you guys get excited and he's trying to like cover it up. But it's like, nah, you're saying that they mash up the thing, and that's why they brought the sound system. I just personally feel like this event was not run good because the people took on more than what they can handle. Even though he said he's done lots of concerts in Toronto, I don't know if he's done festival or something of this sorts. But the shit was terrible, bro. There was just no form of control. There was no form of order. They had police on. They had more police, and the police wasn't. Nothing was really getting done. There was no real reason why people had to suffer the way they did at that concert. And for you to say that they're the reason why, and that you can't give them their money back because of by your contract or whatever, you guys never did nothing wrong. Excuse you? Did that concert look like anybody you couldn't hear? What about the people that just innocently came? Not everybody brought down the fence. There was people that came that paid for first class and couldn't even get into first class. And when they're in the first class, they're squeezed up behind stage and can't breathe. People dropping down dead. Not dead, but like, you know what I mean? He has to take accountability for what you did or what your promoters did. The whole thing with the money coming from Italian, I don't care about that. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Why people would have even people need to start bringing up race and everything, because bro, it gets annoying at times. Like, fuck, like, what was it supposed to be, an all black event? Unless it was, or it was like in some historical type of way, then maybe we can talk about it. But like, I think people bring up race for shock value to, because who cares if the investors were Italian? I don't know. Anyway, he came back with a new concert, same thing, different name, different company name. And I believe the name was Palm Nation or something like that. They came with like a different name, but it's the same exact people and the same exact event. We never heard nothing going wrong from that event that they wind up keeping after, but I never seen anything of the one that they said they were going to keep on the 20-something of November. And it would have been cold outside to keep a festival in November, or concert in November outside in Canada. Outside's full of breeze. You would have to do that inside somewhere. And I don't think any of the artists them would want to come back. Nobody's not gonna want to work. Look how Popcorn was pissed off. Look how they rushed the man on when he was trying to get on the stage. Shensia, nobody couldn't hear Shensia. Skilly Bang, white women are fighting each other in the crowd. So this was not a good concert from no form, no angle. Nothing about this was good. And I feel like he should have returned the people's money. Because I never went, I can't talk for everything, but the broken down fence thing is a thing we do in Toronto all the while. Not just Toronto, because I go to many concerts in US and those places, but I never been to them. But I see them, and they always have concert fence getting lit down. It's not the first, and Toronto's not the only place that does it. But I do realize that a lot of places, a lot of people, I should say, that come to Toronto and keep events have that problem. Caravan and they lick down the fence clean. Everybody run through. Last year the fence nearly dropped down on a whole set of people. So the fence thing in Toronto has always been kind of like a problem when it comes to concert. But you have to expect that. You need to hire security who know what the hell they're doing. You guys have 250 minions and not one of them know what they're doing to handle the 50,000 people. You know what I mean? It just simply wasn't run good. It wasn't planned good. It wasn't organized good. Um, and next, well, you know, things like this have to happen so that next time when they do it, they just don't fall into foolishness like this again. But I feel for the people who spent their hard work money to go to this, to get squeezed, to can't get nothing drink, to drop down in heat and all those type of stuff. Can't hear not one of the performers them, and then you can't even just get up and leave because it's full in there. You can't go nowhere. So you guys let me know what you think about the situation down below. Let me know if you went there. Did you ever wind up getting any type of money back? And how was your experience? Let me know if I was leaving out anything. And you guys don't know. Till next time on top. Running our event from now until the end of March, I have great news. Tree Bills Food is offering 30% off caterings and 15% off box food. Enter promo code MeHungry at the end of your order to receive the discount. Once again, the promo code is MeHungry, MIHUNGR, all caps.